My name is Michael Cook. I'm in art history, and this is my podcast interviewing someone in my industry. The person I interviewed in my industry was James Mathers, who is the president and co-founder of Digital Cinema Society in Studio City, California. The questions that I asked him, I will show you some of his video from the Skype call, but there was no audio, so I'll read his questions from the email that he sent to me. Question 1. What do you see as the role of the visual arts in our mass-mediated world, and particularly in your profession? He says, as the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. I don't think it could be any more true. Visual expression is effective, and in conjunction with other forms of communication only serves to exponentially add to the potential. The second question I asked him is, with new communications and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on the industry? He says in his response in the email, I think it has to be positive. It makes the time spent absorbing the media more valuable, even if there is some form of communication without much redeeming value, like pornography. He wrote this in the email. Even if the message isn't positive, the media effectively delivers it with the help of visuals. In the third question I asked him, what popular images do you see that are frequently rechanneled throughout the entertainment industry? He says, his response is, the peace sign comes to mind, starting during the World Wars to symbolize V for victory. It was later adopted by the peace movement in the 1960s and has been in art and politics ever since. I asked him, are there particular images in that industry, has been popularized or created? His response is, the Apple logo comes to mind as a simple but elegant trademark that is now recognized the world over. Apple became the most valuable company in history by market value today on the stock market. The logo is part of that story. It is also interesting to note that the company has had a practice of providing gear to movie and TV production companies to use as props in their TV and their shows, and it has to have at least a positive subliminal effect for customers to see these computers omnipresent in TV and movies, which I agree. Apple is an industry standard for video editing, movie making, anything that has to do with graphical arts. Question, who is one of your favorite visual artists and what is their favorite style of visual art? His response is, it's hard to narrow down, but since I'm a cinematographer, I will name a few of my favorite directors of photography, including Robert Richardson, who is Academy Award winner for Hugo, Roger Deakins, Shawshank Redemption, and the late Conrad Hall, Bound for Glory, Road to American Beauty. For classical painters, I'm a fan of Rembrandt, he says. The final question, how has your knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process? He writes, I think the lighting suggested in Rembrandt paintings informs my cinematography. A key light coming from the high side or the back angle with a fair amount of contrast between key and fill aside. Prepping for a feature, I will sometimes consult art books and photos of famous paintings or view DVDs of films that have a certain style as meaning of coming up with and communicating the approach we are planning. Again, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Thank you.